everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the second video for our Binding of Isaac Rebirth or Afterbirth Plus Platinum Trophy Guide. Now, if you've been following the guide up till when I say to, your save file should look like this. Now, if you want a recap of what I went over, basically it's just beating Mom's foot the first time, then going through and beating Mom's heart at least a minimum of 11 or 12 times, I always forget the number, and then going each of the alternate paths 5 times and beating those respectively. In doing so, you will unlock a decent amount of trophies, and you'll basically have most of the game's routes unlocked. And then from here, remember I also mentioned doing challenges. The only one you want to do more or less is number 2. And anything after, I believe, 11, just because. Another one you might want to try and do is number 17, is this will unlock a specific item called Death's Touch. It's a really good item. It's damage and penetration through enemies or piercing shots. But another thing I'd like to go over is a very specific couple of items that you'll unlock but will be hard to come by and find. The first one is the skeleton key. It is found in a secret room, which is one of the rooms that you can find by blowing up specific walls on maps. There's a rare chance that you will actually find one, but you can find them. The second one is $1. This will give you 99 cents if you don't already have it. To find one of these, you can either spend money at the pink gambling machines and eventually hope you get it by getting the $3 signs. You can also blow up the gambling machines for a chance for it to spawn. The third item is Transcendence. This is also found in secret rooms and is incredibly hard to find. But there is a specific item as well for blowing up so many of the gambling machines that you'll unlock called the D4. What that does is it'll reroll all of your passive items. So any passive item that you've unlocked or is available for you to get in the game, you can reroll and possibly get, which is really cool. So you can actually get most of the passives just by re-rolling, and then they will unlock, as it's how I've unlocked the Platinum Trophy. Was the last few runs I had to do was using the D4 and just getting every single item available, which took a bit of time, but yeah, so I figured I'd just go over these specific 3 as they're very hard to come by and very rare to get. So yeah, but moving on from that, by now you should also have most of, if not all of, the base game characters unlocked. If you're just playing on the base game of Rebirth, then you won't have Lilith, you won't have Apollyon. Those are 2 DLC, more or less, characters. But you should have the rest. And one thing I will note is that once you have both of the alternate paths unlocked, if you want to, you can start taking specific characters up and down them and, doing that. So for every single character in the game, there's 2 related trophies to doing certain things. So if you take each character down each specific path, going to fight Satan and then going to fight Isaac, that will be 2 specific trophies for each and every single character that is base game. Up to Eden, of course. So that's quite a bit of trophies you'll unlock upon doing that. If you'll need a visual representation, I will now do that on the screen of showing you when and what each things are. So I'll just be skipping to that so you'll know. Alright, now one thing I almost forgot to mention is how while you've been working on clearing the game, you should also be trying to not take any damage on both floors for each area. So for the first 2 floors, that'll get you 1 trophy. For the next 2 floors, that'll get you a trophy. And the only trophy that it doesn't affect is the Cathedral and Shoal. You can take damage in there, but then the last one that you'll have to work on to where you won't take damage is the Chest or the Dark Room. Now those are going to be considerably harder simply because of the fact that almost all of the rooms are filled with bosses, and you have to have a really good run to ensure that you don't take damage and have good skills. And also, right now, if you see the items on my right side, if you see the pair of sunglasses below the white question mark box. That is an item that'll actually allow you to find secret rooms for free, as it'll reveal them to you. I'm going to try and show you here if I can at some point. Well, I'm just going through. As if you hear that, as you'll see right there, there's the secret room. And yeah, this will allow you to easily find secret rooms. If you get the item, of course. You won't always get it, but there are times to where you'll be able to find the secret room on your own through just player skill. So I figured I'd add that in before we get to the main topics. So once again, I'll continue whenever I see fit. Alright, so once you've beaten Mom's Foot, there will be two items that spawn on the left and the right instead of actually getting an item now, and that'll be the Polaroid and the negative. Now the Polaroid is for if you're going to go up, and the negative is if you're going to go down. Now I recommend, for the most part, if you're trying to get the most items per a single run to just speed up your discovery process, then take the Polaroid and go up. I'll explain why once I actually get there. But for now, this is what it looks like, and you'll see Polaroid is always going to be on the left. So yeah, just be wary of that. So yeah. So once again, I'm going to see you all once I've made it to the chest, which will actually I'll show you after Mom's Heart, and then so on and so on. So yeah, I'll see you when that's said and done. Alright, so once you've beaten Mom's Heart, you'll see here that you have normally 3 options, and that is to go up, which will be the light, or down, which will be the little hatch. Or once you unlock it, if you have the DLC, you can go into the opening right here on my right, and that lets you go fight Hush, which is more or less a mega boss, as it has a lot of health and it's going to take a bit of time to fight. But I'm actually going to maybe try and go do that, get some more items, so on and so on. So I'm actually, and afterwards, after you beat Hush, there will be a similar pattern to this at the end where you can go up or down. And so yeah, I'm going to see you once we actually go up and then beat Isaac and then go to the chest. So I'll see you all there. Alright, so now once you've made it to the chest, as you'll see, 4 golden chests here will appear here. So what you can do in theory is if you have a Yarrow room, which is the reason why I say you only want to do challenge number 2, you can then double all of these chests, and so when you open these, every single one will have a item. That goes for the entirety of this floor. Every chest will have an item. This will allow you to get certain things and do certain stuff, you know, so on and so on. This will give you way more things to get. So yeah, so basically, go through. You can defeat the boss of this floor, and so on and so on. And by now you should have a bunch of items unlocked. You'll then want to go through and do that for both sides, so the chest and then going down to the dark room. The dark room will spawn 4 red chests, which means you'll have more options to maybe get devil deal items, so on and so on. But yeah, so you'll have to do that, and that'll basically get you the most amount of items per run going to the chest, but you'll still have to go down to the dark room, as beating the dark room with Isaac will also unlock another trophy, and then a specific trinket item which goes down in the left, which you'll need, and so on and so on. Very difficult, but you'll use that trinket to unlock the secret and final character of the game, which is more or less arguably one of the harder characters to play as. So yeah, so I'm more or less just going to finish this run, show you what it looks like when you have a really good run, as I do. As you'll see here, able to just get a bunch of stuff. Got a charge for my D6, which you can then re-roll into items. And as I'm going through, I'm just trying to make sure that I remember not to get hurt. If you happen to get the wafer, it's a really good item, as it allows you to take only half a heart of damage on every single floor, which is really good for the later game, as it'll allow you to easily survive a lot of things. Alright, so I'm going to actually take this and use this in here. To unlock Dad's Key, you need to actually get both key pieces. As you can see, we have Transcendence here, which I'm not going to take as I already have Flight. But Dad's Key will allow you to open any room or door that you are struggling with. This will also allow you to get hidden rooms as well. which is pretty cool. Now, that big door is basically the end game of Isaac for the most part in terms of base game bosses, as it'll be a boss that I'll show you in a moment. I'm done here. Sadly, I took damage just because of how things went in this room. All these explosions and such.
Infested.
It'll happen though, even on good runs. It's just one of those things where you gotta just be careful. Like that, you'll have a boss that'll just flank you from the side, which is ridiculous. We'll take PhD because we already are getting good pills.
I found infested.
Getting the one makes you larger pill will actually be really good for us, as there are actually specific things that you'll need to be working on that are not trophy related objectives, but you'll still have to do them anyways for the trophy. But here we'll actually have the boss, which is Blue Baby. He's basically similar to Isaac, but a lot more easier to deal with. I don't know why the music is just so loud sometimes. But we're actually going to full clear this floor, as this will guarantee us, like I said, the most amount of items. You won't get a chest every time for each room that you do, but there'll be a higher chance for some, you know. If you get Guppy's Tail, it'll increase the amount of chests that you'll get, but the downside is you're probably not going to get a lot of keys. There are ways to circumvent that. Why did I do that? Mad. As you'll see here, getting Cursed Eye doesn't affect us because we already are firing out stuff like how we are. Sure, we'll take Matchbook. As you'll see though, it's pretty easy for us to get through most of this floor, if not all of it, because we are Guppy. Every single tier that we hit on a boss will guarantee a fly. We also have an item that increases the damage of all of our flies, which is really nice. So we'll just take these items, because why not? We'll bomb this, baby, get something good.
Luck.
That's pretty good.
Luck.
So once to enter this room, normally what you have to do is if you find Dad's key and then make it either to the dark room or the chest, you can use Dad's key to unlock this door to enter this boss room. However, normally what you're supposed to do is fight and kill 2 angels, and each angel will drop a key piece. There's 2 of them. Upon doing so and getting both key pieces, you will then unlock Dad's key, which is really funny. And then what you need to do is take that key once it's formed and bring it to the door, and then it'll unlock on its own. To have the angels actually be fightable, you'll need to reach a certain point in the game, which is where you can access the chest and the dark room at the same time. So here we have Mega Satan. He's a pretty easy boss if you have a good build. I.e. having OP flies that do all of the damage for you. As you can see, it's pretty easy. And these are what the angels look like. But as you'll see, you won't really get to see them fight, simply just because we're so powerful. For the most part, after you defeat the first phase of Mega Satan and the second phase, there will be a chance that you'll get a Void Portal to spawn, which will allow you to go fight Delirium if you have all of the DLC for the game so far on console. If not, then the cutscene will end like so. It is now, and you'll get the ending. Which I'm just going to skip, just because. Once it loads, it can be done. Got the D20. Once you get the Golden God achievement, that will also be another trophy that you'll get. So yeah, basically, if you want to keep track of what you've done for each character, you'll look at the post-it note up on the left next to the characters. That'll show you everything you've done for them. As you can see, I fought in Mom's Heart. I've gone and fought in Isaac, which will be the normal cross. And then I fought in Blue Baby, which is the Polaroid. And then in the bottom right, you'll see the face. That is going and fighting Hush. And then the Brimstone symbol is fighting Mega Satan. Now you'll need to do that. And then there are three more. Well, there are two more in conjunction for doing Satan, and then the Lamb, which is by going down. And then there's another one for doing Greed mode. And then there's also fighting Delirium. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff. And then there's also a star, which we'll be doing for doing Boss Rush. So you'll need to do that for all of the characters in total. So that's 10 achievements for each character. You'll only get trophies for doing more or less 2 of them, which is by doing Isaac and then Satan, which then you'll need to do for all the characters. Try and show off. As you'll see under the heart on Cain, it's an upside down cross. That is Satan. And then, yeah. And then as you'll see here on Eden, below the star, which is Boss Rush, you'll see the negative, which is going and fighting the Lamb. Now, Eden is a specific, unique character, as you'll need to actually win a run, and then that'll unlock an Eden token. Now, how Eden works is he spawns with random items and stats. I'm going to show this off in Greed mode. As you'll see here, he's different every time we do this as Shadow. So basically what we could do is check out our items. It's not too bad. But yeah, so Eden will always spawn with random stuff every time, so you'll never know what you get until you load into the game. Which is kind of interesting for sure. So what I'm going to be trying to do is actually specifically die. And then I'm going to come back as Dark Judas, which will give me more damage, which is an item. Any item that Eden spawns with will actually count towards unlocking it. So what you could theoretically do is eventually just unlock every item and then just spam reset through Eden, and then you'll get all the items. Because I'll show you right now. If you're on console and are on the latest version of the game, if you hold both of your joysticks down, you'll do a soft reset, and that'll just restart your run. It'll be completely different, as you can see here. This will allow you to actually get a bunch of things done. And yeah. So I think that's more or less going to be the end of this second video, as it's more or less just going over everything that you'll need to do, for each character. Like I said, going up and going down will unlock trophies for you, as well as unlocking items that you'll then need to get for the game, because you'll need to have all of the items to get the platinum trophy, instead of having to do certain things. And also, if you really want to, what you could do is, it'd be really annoying to try and do it, but if you're on the base game version, then you only have to do these 20 challenges, which is very convenient. But if you have the DLC, then you also have to do all of these extras. Now, I will say probably the hardest one for any single person to do and try is number 27, Brains. Now, I will probably be making videos for each and every single challenge, or depending on how they go, I will be actually doing like 2 challenges per video. Like I said, it just depends on how hard the challenges are and how long it takes me to do them. So those might be individual videos themselves. Always so much fun. But this has been Mr. Pilgrim, and I will see you all in the next one.